Hi beauties, welcome to my channel H.ealthy by Julia. I'm Julia and I'm your virtual beauty therapist. I've been doing beauty for the past 10 years and that's my job. I am a beauty therapist. But because I can't see you, obviously, I will be your virtual beauty therapist. The topic for today is about salicylic acid. Because there's a lot to talk about in this topic, I decided to split it into videos for this week and for the next one. Basically, it's a very general term, which means that it's a group of chemical compounds which have for their base salicylic acid. And you might be very surprised to see how many of those you actually know about. When we talk about intolerance towards this group of chemical compounds, usually the only one that we actually have some kind of studies is acetyl salicylate, and that's your aspirin. So if you have bad reactions towards aspirin, that doesn't mean that you can't use salicylic acid, but it means that it might be worth it to be a little bit more observant how your skin is reacting and if your body really agrees towards it. But actually, salicylic acid is something that is organically found in a lot of vegetables, in a lot of fruits. Of course, in your product it could be synthetically made. More salicylic acid or salicylates you can find into different kinds of spices because of their weight. So we can see in 100 grams of curry powder around 220 milligrams of salicylates inside. But to be honest with you, this kind of dish with so much curry powder won't be very edible. Otherwise, if we have to compare towards some kind of medicines that we are taking, if you look for extra strength aspirin or some kind of medicine for arthritis, usually they are aspirin based, we are looking into around 600 milligrams into only one tablet, and very likely you will take 2-3 per day. When we talk about suitable during a pregnancy and lactation, this is once again for up to 2%. I'm not talking about chemical pills. They could be 20-30% strength. There's might be some kind of side effects, but they're not so common. Usually they are triggered by you using something too strong for yourself or combining too many exfoliating ingredients. Because if you think about your retinol serum, your salicylic acid lotion, your glycolic weekly peel, they're all exfoliating your skin. So very often your negative reaction will be from the over exfoliation and not from one particular ingredient that if you use separately, your skin will be just fine. So if you are a bit confused with this information, you can check out, I will add the link over here. I've done a whole video about exfoliation. I do hope this will be useful for yourself as well. But looking into side effects, we're looking for general irritation, so redness, some kind of flaky skin, dryness, some sensitivity in general towards your product. Sometimes that's something very initial, so within the first 1-2 weeks it will be gone. I have to say that because salicylic acid is oil soluble, you will see that it's very difficult to mix it with some kind of, say, a water-based lotion. And in order to do so, some of the brands will use as the alcohol or alcohol denat. We are talking about pure ethyl alcohol, which is the drying type of alcohol. So I am saying this just because I want you to understand that this is not a rule, and also that sometimes the dryness that you feel might not be from your salicylic acid, say 1%, but it might be from the fact that after the water, the second ingredient is alcohol in your skincare, so that's what dries out your skin. Beta-hydroxy acid. That means that in the molecule you can see that one part is the acid and it is separated by 2 carbon atoms from the hydroxy part. Where it comes from in your product, usually it comes from willow bark. Actually, the name of salicylic acid comes from Salix alba, which is willow bark. So the whole name of the acid in your product comes from actually the natural source of it. For willow bark, we know that it is transformed into salicylic acid, but this is when this ingredient is digested. So if you orally take willow bark, your body, your digestion will be able to transform it. So we think that the same way will work for our topical products and lotions and potions. So once again, the science is not completely behind all the beauty claims that we can get from the different brands. As for some kind of weird chemical name in your product, you can see also betaine salicylate, and this is beta hydroxy acid, but it is, I'll say, probably half of the strength of the salicylic acid. Most of the studies and brands will compare them as of, in order to get the same benefits from betaine salicylate, you need to use 4% if you have been using salicylic acid 2%. Some of the brands will be using salicylic acid, but by the way, it will be only up to 0.5% if this is a Korean brand that you're using. Salicylic acid will not kill acne bacteria. It doesn't work this way. So how it works is that when we get this type of pore blocked with everything, because it releases the bonds in between the different skin cells and skin layers of that skin on the surface, you can actually remove it and shed it naturally. So if you don't have the dead skin cells on the surface, you are left just with the oil into your pore. And the reason why salicylic acid or beta hydroxy acids in general are so great is because they are oil soluble. That means that it can actually go into the pore and not just wipe the surface of the skin, and it can dissolve the oil so that you can remove it rather easily. So in this case, the oxygen that gets to the pores will change the whole environment, and that's why the bacteria is not capable to thrive as well as what it used to be. Here the comparison is very often with the alpha hydroxy acids, but they are water soluble, so they will give you the exfoliation, but they cannot really go in the oil in the pore, and that's why if you have some blocked pores, salicylic acid will be the one that you can see in almost every acne kind of treatment, because it really works that well. The other comparison is between salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide. Yes, they are both for acne, but very often they are used for a different reason. So salicylic acid will be the ingredient to go for if you're suffering from so-called blackheads and whiteheads, and it will be because, as I said, it's oil soluble. It will be able to actually give some moisture to the skin. It will be able to dissolve the bonds between the dead skin cells, so it will help with exfoliation. But benzoyl peroxide is the one that actually kills acne causing bacteria. So if you have pimples and pustules on the face caused by acne, this will be the more efficient, in this case, ingredient. You can combine them, and I, to be honest with you, believe that combining ingredients to fight a lot of the different factors that cause acne is much more clever and much more efficient way to combat acne and breakouts. When we are looking into salicylic acid, a lot of people say that it works so well because it penetrates so deep into the skin. That's not how it works. Now, because salicylic acid is oil soluble, it can easily go through the skin, and as I said, it goes into the pores filled with sebum, but it doesn't go deep into the skin. The molar mass of glycolic acid is around 76, while the molar mass of salicylic acid is 138. So this means that the salicylic acid as a molecule is twice as big as the glycolic acid, and because it is bigger, it cannot go deep into the skin. It's just not possible. But the glycolic acid, because it has tiny molecule, it goes deep into the skin, which makes it very effective, don't get me wrong, but also it makes it much more irritating for the skin. Here, how it works with our pore size. They are genetically predetermined. So this is depending on the structure of our oil glands. Now, collagen is a structure which holds the skin nice and firm. It's a bit like a hairband. Think like this. So this is your pore. If you start stretching it, just like when you use it, it looks bigger. It's the same with breaking down collagen, using bad skincare, sun damage in general. It will make it look bigger. So when we are talking about shrinking pores, we are actually talking about bringing it back to what is naturally looking your skin like. And that's when you are not stretching your hairband. What I mean is that there are certain things that we do that are making our pores looking larger, and trying to get back to this healthy version of our skin will bring back to normal to what it was your pores, but it will not shrink them because they are genetically made like this. Higher percentage of salicylic acid is sometimes used in order to treat conditions such as skin warts. Also, you can use salicylic acid in some dandruff treatments, including shampoos, and the reason is because it is able to exfoliate this extra skin. You can see it actually up to 3% into different shampoos. For conditions such as keratosis pilaris, for psoriasis as well, it has been used for treating psoriasis and certain types of dermatitis as well. You can see it also as salt of salicylic acid actually in mouthwash, and it is because it has antibacterial, antiseptic properties as ingredient, and it's definitely ingredient that you can use if you have breakouts, blemishes over your body, whether it's shoulders, chest, or acne. You can definitely use wash. To be honest with you, you don't need a body wash. If you have especially higher percentage of a face wash or a lotion, you can potentially treat the skin on the body with the same product like the one that you're using for the face. In some cases, obviously, your body skin is slightly thicker and it might need something with stronger concentration in order to be as effective. But you can absolutely start with something that you're using on the face for the body. Very often you can treat things like ingrown hairs, whether for underarms or your bikini line, using your exfoliating products. You can actually treat things like discoloration, underarms and bikini as well, your thighs as well, with your salicylic acid, because it will help to exfoliate the skin, so it will have this type of brightening look. And actually it's great not just for acne but also for generally brighter looking skin. You can have salicylic pill just because you want to treat some freckles and some photo damage, some aging. So yes, salicylic acid is mainly for acne, but exfoliation in moderation is great for everyone, not just for people with oily skin, and salicylic acid as well. Please be aware that all the advices, tips and tricks that I'm giving you are from my perspective. We are talking about general uses of different kinds of ingredients. I always suggest for you to speak with your healthcare provider just to be on the safe side, because as I already mentioned before, they can actually see you, unlike me, unfortunately. They have your medical history, they know what medications you are taking at the moment, they know if you're having any type of medical condition, so they will be able to give you very individual advice. Thank you very much for watching the video today. Please comment below your thoughts about it, give it a thumbs up, share it, and consider subscribing to my channel.